If you could time travel and witness the making of any horror movie, which one would it be? Easy one for me, without a doubt, the Blair Witch Project, because I don't know if people understand how fucking crazy the behind the scenes of this movie is. First things first, this movie is completely improvised. There were no lines, there was no script. The two writers/directors, Eduardo Sanchez and Daniel Myrick, came up with the legend of the Blair Witch in 1994 and created this 35-page screenplay, and it literally had no dialogue in it. It was intended to be completely improvised. They held a random ass casting call, and out of 2,000 people, they picked the three main characters in this movie who kept their same names. Which the reason they fought to use their own names in the movie is because they thought it would be more natural when they were improving all the lines. The three of them had to sign a release form saying that the crew had permission to mess with their minds. They filmed this movie in 8 days, and for those 8 days, the three actors were literally sleeping, camping out in the woods, having no idea what was about to happen to them. The production crew only kept in contact with them through walkie-talkies, and they were not allowed to intervene at any point. They didn't want the actors to know that they were even near. Every day, the actors would get drop boxes with little prompts telling them what the goal was for the day, what they were supposed to act. And they would each get an allotment of food. As the 8 days went on, they would get less and less food to promote the animosity between them as they are trapped in the middle of the woods. The terror in this movie is 100,000% genuine on all the actors' parts. For example, the scene where they're sleeping and they wake up to the children's laughter. Yeah, they had no fucking idea that was about to happen. The crew put speakers in the woods and started playing recordings that they took of children laughing. And then they violently started shaking the tent that they were sleeping in, which caused them to truly run out barefoot. Not to mention the three actors really did record everything this whole movie. During that scene where they're running out of the tent and Heather is screaming, "What the fuck is that?" It's because she sees somebody dressed in a white gown in the distance, but the actors were so scared, they forgot that they were supposed to turn the camera because that was one of their prompts. So that's why in this movie, we never even see the Blair Witch, because they were so genuinely terrified, they forgot what they were supposed to do. Not to mention, some actors knew some things and others didn't. So Mike, for example, his prompt one day was that he was to destroy the map. If you remember this whole thing, Heather has the map, Mike destroys it. So he kicked the map into the creek thinking that Josh and Heather saw it, and they didn't. And he kept that a secret until eventually he told them, and that's where we get that genuine reaction. The reason they're so upset about losing the map is because they were actually fucking using the map. Again, they had walkie-talkies and the crew was telling them which direction to go, but sometimes they were purposely making them get lost. So the scene where they've been walking all day and they discover that they've just been going around in circles, that's genuine because the crew purposely set them in the wrong direction so that they walked all day just for fucking nothing. So these actors were genuinely tired, hungry, and fucking terrified. Heather and Mike also did not know that Josh was going to go missing in the middle of the night. So they genuinely woke up to him being gone without a trace in the middle of the woods. Mind you, when they first started on day one, Heather had already said that she was scared that this was going to be a snuff film because it was so fucking sketchy. They truly don't even know if Josh is well at this point. The final scene when they're in the house going into the basement, neither of them knew what was about to happen. So when Mike went into the basement, two people dressed in black literally grabbed him and told him to face the wall. And then when Heather went down, they grabbed her, placed her camera on the floor and told her to stop screaming. But this scene they actually had to retake twice because she was hyperventilating and crying because she was so fucking scared. Not to mention, the whole time they were filming, the three main characters believed that the Blair Witch was a real thing. Hate to break it to you, if you don't know, it's not. At the beginning of the movie, when they're doing all the interviews with the town people, they thought that those people were real townspeople, but they were really fucking planted actors by the crew. So that just contributed to them believing that the Blair Witch was real, and they didn't even find out that it wasn't until the movie released. So yeah, the filming and the behind the scenes of this movie was absolute fucking chaos. And there's so much more, and I did a whole episode of this on my podcast this week. But I would have fucking loved to have been on the set of this movie just to witness this utter chaos and terror. Shout out to the actors, man. They went through fucking hell for this one.